Good morning, good morning, good morning. Just gonna finish setting everything up, and then we're gonna get started right here. Today we are going to we're breaking down the heavyweight fight of the Grand Prix finals, Korea versus. We are going to the fight of the Grand Prix. Need to mute myself. Finals, Korea versus. We are going to we're
Oh my
breaking down.
gosh.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I need this for the code. Copy. I have to do this every time. There's no way around this. Facebook Live comments. If you guys are in the comments want me to look at anything in specific or specifically, let me know, and I will do that. Just trying to get some of the stuff up and running. It's something I have to do every single time. Every time I go live. Okay. Good. I think we're good. Cool. That's there. And then here we go. Just updated, so I had to like re-sign into a lot of my stuff. If you guys let me know if you guys can hear me or not hear me, that'd be great. Anyway, I think everything's good to go right now, so we're working and let's get started, y'all. Ready, set. We're gonna be watching the whole match. I have not watched this yet. I don't know either of these fighters. I'm doing this specifically so I can push myself as a fight analyst or as a coach, and to see what I can take away. Hopefully, break some things down for you guys to take away. Maybe I see something that you guys don't. Maybe you guys see stuff that I don't see. I'd be more than happy to know what those were in the comment section. Anyway, please let me know, and let's get this show on the road. Oh, nope. Okay, let's turn this guy. All right, so let's turn this down a little bit. The announcers, things I noticed right away. Iran. Oops, where are we at? Things I noticed right away is that Iran throwing a little bit of pressure out right away. Korea matching the pressure. I watch a lot of the subtlety, a lot of the small stuff, like who steps forward first, who reacts, because it kind of sets the pace of who's going to be dictating this match. Okay. So looks like Iran typical game plan. Trying to motion. If Korea, so what Iran's doing for those of you guys who are kind of new to this, those of you guys who kind of new, Iran's motioning, trying to inch in a little bit. If Korea doesn't move anymore, or Iran feels like his little motions don't create a reaction out of Korea, that's usually when Iran will go. Um, that's been Iran's game plan since earlier this year and since last year, I believe. I think the last Iran player, though, however, had a lot more dynamic front foot. Like they use the front foot to poke and prod a little bit more. Um, this one doesn't seem like we're as active. Oh, there it is. Okay, there it is. Both guys trying to feel each other out. So information already. Iran just in general has a very active front leg. Every single one of the players always had a active front leg that's been a staple in their game for a long time. I'm sure Korea knows this going in. I think that Korea probably right now is Korea coming in knows this already, so they're trying to find a reaction. I think right now he's trying to figure out and see for himself how fast, how strong, what direction, how is he throwing these cuts, how is he using the front leg, and he's trying to formulate something or get information for his coach to formulate something on the outside. It doesn't seem like there's too much of a game plan for either player going in because they're both sitting here at the edge of distance trying to feel each other out. Actually, I read about this about the Grand Prix in general, and they said it was super hot. So this may be not the normal way they fight each other. Maybe it's just their oh, good try. Um, so we're gonna break this down very thoroughly. I have to try and do this without restarting the entire thing. So no reaction. The reason Iran follows up is because I mean it's pretty obvious. If you're a coach, you're gonna see this I think right away. But if you're a player, maybe not. On the first cut kick, Korea just kind of took it, kind of just at the edge of distance, didn't move back. Second time he cut kick, same thing. Korea took it, didn't really move back at all, didn't move back, just stayed on the edge of distance. The reason Iran follows up because he's here, he's expecting him to take it, not really move back, which leaves him in perfect spot. He doesn't even actually, in fact, Korea actually doesn't even have a reaction. He just kind of takes a kick. There's not even like a counter kick. There's no flex. There's no back leg coming out. There's really nothing too much going on in Korea's end. So Iran says, well, okay, if you're not going to move him in distance, why as well just follow up with the back leg. And I think in the next exchange coming up, that's what happens. Feeling him out, trying to figure out if he has a game plan. That was a good attempt. So same thing. I think I may have skipped ahead. The replay thing's 4 hours, so I apologize. The reason for the head kick, the exact same reasoning as I was saying before, was that Korea on the cut kick, Korea doesn't slide back. Cut kick, Korea doesn't slide back. Or if he slides back, it's like a minuscule amount. And so if he's gonna not slide back, the adjustment or the attempt that Iran made was obviously just to go in a little bit deeper to make sure you reach. And if you guys feel like I'm missing anything, like I said, feel free to leave that in the comments. I'd really appreciate it. It'd be a good point to bring up for everyone watching. Okay. Okay. Same thing. Well, okay. So what's looks like Korea has a subtle way of playing the new game. There he goes. He's actually doing something now. Um, Subtle things going on here that the news players may not see. Korea is starting to inch forward now. He's starting to be a little bit more active, applying a little bit more pressure. The usual metal game right now, which is what I covered in my last video. Slide inch forward, inch forward, inch forward. Opponent kicks. You slide, so your opponent kicks. You slide back the same amount of distance. Wait till they're done kicking, and then usually they'll go. Uh, Before, Korea seemed to be very passive. He was just kind of absorbing the kicks. Even if Iran was pressing, he was still absorbing the kicks. Um, Now Korea, I think, formulated something and is taking the fight to Iran now. You can tell because he's been in the middle of the match, in the middle of the ring, and Iran is near the edge. Yeah. Even the announcer was saying that he's a big factor. I read reports about this. I heard that he was a huge factor. Okay, good try. Same thing. So he's pushing front leg. He slides back just out of distance for the back leg. A staple part of his gameplay because he's doing it so often. It wasn't just a one time. I think that what he thinks. I think Iran formulated based off what Korea's been doing is if Korea is not the one initiating, it doesn't seem like there's too much reaction out of him. So if he's coming forward, there's a good chance that he does cut with the back leg. There's a good chance he might catch him. Korea, though, is defending this very well just by maintaining distance on the cut kick and then maintaining distance on the second one, even with the follow up. the reason I'm breaking down like what the game plan is, play by like every exchange almost, is because I want if you guys are new to the game, if you guys are intermediate, like I want newer fighters to come up and figure out how to think when you're in a match. It's not just throw kicks and throw kicks and throw kicks. You want to use information that you're given to try to choose the right kick. 'Cause there's so many different kicks you can do. There are different timings. There are different distances, and a lot of times I'm watching other people and it's like, why did you throw that? Like, was there a point behind that? And if not, then you're kind of almost like wasting energy. Okay, so if you want to break this down, it's I think it's pretty simple. One, he hasn't really done too many offensive punches, so it's something that Iran's probably not expecting. Secondly, like a way to counter the punch besides a headshot is going backwards. He can't do that obviously because he's out of bounds, so might as well risk it going in. I think what I've observed though, I'm not sure if I would have done that just because of the three fights I've watched already of the Grand Prix, it doesn't seem like they're scoring punches all that much. It seems a lot like the punches aren't scoring too high this tournament. Korea is doing the same thing, just kind of absorbing distance. Yeah, a lot of poking, prodding. Um, Iran a little bit more committed to each of one of the attacks, going in with a follow up. Korea not so much. Korea it seems like he's still just motioning forward, still pressing the fight forward a little bit. Not too much commitment. It looks like some opportunities inside the clinch, but besides that, doesn't look like too much going on. I would fast forward, guys, but because the time frame is so big, it's 4 hours. I don't want to like skip forward and not be able to find ourselves. So we got a minute break going on right now. Dude, it looks so hot over there. What the? It's like the coaches are sweating. Also, if you guys are watching, if you feel like my analysis is incorrect, if you feel like there's something I'm missing, a big point I'm missing, go ahead and leave that in the comments. I am uh I'm always willing to improve. So any points you guys put in there would be greatly beneficial, not only to me but to everyone watching this as well. My opinion, I think Iran's still just trying to get around, is still poking Brian Korea, trying to figure out what defense exactly is he sitting on because Korea actually hasn't given up too much information. Okay. Yeah, nothing too committed. They're all pretty safe attacks, seeing if they catch each other with the line, but nothing too committed yet. Usually in heavyweight game, it takes us a long time to move. It takes a lot of energy to move, so they maybe just be saving energy because it's hot. I don't know. I'm not actually there. I wouldn't know. But usually in heavyweight game, it's not like a thin or flyweight game where there's a lot of exchanges all the time. There's a lot of feeling each other out because when you're committed, your body's humongous, so you gotta be really, really committed. Oh, fight? Yeah, okay. Not fighting enough. Not fighting enough. That's weird. They gave it to Korea. I guess he's the one maintaining the distance. I guess that kind of makes sense. He's the one maintaining the distance, playing right on the edge. Something Arvin broke down to me was a lot of times they'll just wait at the edge of distance and then try and follow up when they're done. Ooh, good punch. Nothing though. for holding. Interesting. Okay, good try. Interesting. Oh, that should have been Korea's calling for Gumjung. Okay, good try. Like I said, it's a lot of it seems to be like a lot of poking and prodding, still trying to get someone off the line. Nothing too committed is going on right now. I mean, between the two, Iran's a little bit definitely more committed. He's been doing a lot more back leg shots, a lot more front leg followed up by back leg, and I think in number of kicks, Iran's definitely leading. He's been poking and prodding a lot more, trying to find something right off the line. Korea has been good maintaining distance. I think that he does this because he knows Iran's in general, their front legs are super dynamic. He doesn't want to be in range for any of these headshots, so he'd rather play this slightly defensively. Wait till it's an engagement that he either he's waiting for an engagement that he it's not just off of wants to go because I think perhaps there's a trap, perhaps. So both players playing this very cautiously, and not too much going on the scoreboard. It doesn't look like there's too much going between the two fighters going on here, trying to figure out if he's holding another follow-up card or if he's like holding another card, like is he gonna follow up after that? Is there a trap coming? Because they're not giving each other not like that too much information, we're stuck in a fight like this where it's a lot of just trying to really figure out what he's sitting on still instead of being more committed to attack. Also, something to note for everyone watching, what I've noticed kind of throughout the years is Korea will try an adjustment in the last 10 seconds. Whatever there's a game plan because there's 3 rounds obviously. So going into the third round, they want to see how the person reacts, and they usually test it within the last 10 seconds. So we may see um, Korea's game plan coming out in the next couple seconds here. So he's putting some pressure, putting some pressure. Looks like that's what it's gonna be. Is it's gonna be a trap back kicks, cuts and trap back kicks for Korea coming up. So those AS who are new, who may want to take that away, is in the last 10 seconds, Korea. I don't know if any other coaches have. I'm sure other coaches have realized this. I mean, like I'm a new coach. I'm sure you guys have realized this. In the last 10 seconds, so this is for new fighters. If you guys want to try something, see if it's effective. Korea usually does the last 10 seconds. He'll go back to his coach to figure out how to more refine what was used, or to game plan something else if nothing else was used. I Yeah, it's gonna be interesting also to see how Iran adjusts to this, knowing that they're down 3 points now. Yep. Like I said, guys, I don't want to. The time frame is so big. I don't want to move this forward because I feel like we're gonna miss some of the fight. So we'll see you guys in a minute. Must be scorching hot out. I don't know why you'd put your coat back on. Look how much like their their sports med guy, their doctor, ringside doctor was sweating, and it's he's not even fighting. Nope. Okay, going into round three. Still,
Nope.
still almost same game plan. Pressure front foot. So I might play this one a little bit slower just because a lot more adjustments happen. A lot more mental game usually goes into the third round. Is there really? This is when sometimes this is where big plays happen because you're out of time. So it looks like Korea, from what I observed in the last 10 seconds, is probably going to look for the turning side or the back kick, etc. He might need to set it up with a cut first, like he did in the last rounds. We'll see. Iran, I think, just needs to put on a little bit more aggression. I don't know if they made the adjustment around the turning side or not, but he is down now by a lot. 4 points is, oh, I mean, a decently big lead, but I'm sure with these countries, it's a pretty heavy lead, and so looking for the points, applying a lot of pressure, however he can do it. What? Oh, maybe he lifted his leg. I think he lifted his leg, so another gum jung. Put himself a little bit further in the hole. I don't know about what? I guess not fighting is a big thing here. So gum junks for everyone. Gum junks for everyone. I don't agree necessarily. Well, okay, given that the game plan is probably going to be a turning side or a back kick, um, I don't really mind so much that Korea's. I still think though that Korea should be at least a little bit of pressure. I mean, like something like inching forward, even motioning forward would be good. But he seems to be completely passive against Iran's aggression. Um, okay, good. So fighting a little bit more for ring to make sure you stay in the middle of the ring. The reason I'd be doing some forward stuff is to keep Iran honest. I don't think it's a good idea to sit here passively when someone's like being aggressive towards you because it gives them the full ability to just mentally just attack and attack and attack and attack without having to stop thought for to what about defense. Even something as small as motioning or even acting like or having an offensive posture about going in could do wonders to make the opponent like throw them off on a defensive stance instead of using their full mental capacity to think about how to try and get a point. It kind of interrupts that. Good. Oh, there it is. Nice try. Or maybe the Korea's game plan is totally to just let this guy think full offense so you can slide in with a trap back kick. Maybe that was the game plan. I might have been wrong. Uh, get back in the ring, man. So part of what I guess kind of what scares me, another gum jump? That was interesting. Part of what scares me about Korea's current ring management style is he's always on the edge, and it makes it a lot easier for people to get headshots when people are on the edge of the mat. Right now they're in the middle, obviously, but a lot of times Iran's pressure, pressure, pressure. Korea's kind of near the edge, and for me, when someone's near the edge, it's almost like a toss-up about if they're gonna get a head point in or headshot in or not. And for me, this is a scary game plan, a scary way like that Korea's, in my opinion, is mismanaging the ring a little bit. Um, and there's been I think two or three exchanges already in the first minute of the third round where Korea's near the edge, Iran's trying for the headshot or trying for the body, and it's difficult to defend that position because one of your options of moving back and maintain distance is no longer there. So you have to stand in place, or you have to go forward. Knowing this, it's a lot easier to land headshots, and so that's why I'm a big proponent of even if you're going to be defensive, you need to put some offensive. You need to put in an offensive stance. You need to put in some offensive pressure um, to keep your opponent honest. You can't just show you're going to be defensive the entire time. And I like this stuff. I think he may be showing he's defensive to get explosive stuff in here, like a punch or the turning side. I think that's done with some motions forward to make sure you're not just giving up ring space completely until you're on the edge of the mat. Maybe in the last minute, Korea changes the game plan. Maybe not. What? Oh, okay, more Gumjung coming out. So what an interesting fight. What an interesting okay, nice try. Nice. Good cut. Okay, okay. I try. Oh my gosh. Did he hit another turning side? We didn't really see that one on camera, but it was good defense, and maybe he's just really good at being in the corner. Maybe everything I said earlier just thrown out the door, and his entire practice has been him at the corner, dodging this, dodging out ins and timing punches and turning sides when he's in the corner. Maybe, maybe. Korea's probably looking to close the distance. Yeah, on a punch. Next one, he slide out. Oh, oh my gosh! Oh, I thought I got him. And this, he's probably gonna try and close the distance. Yep. And in eating time, eating time, eating time, throwing his leg up there. Okay, nice try. Awesome job, Korea, maintaining that lead and maintaining the cool. Um, so congrats to Korea. Biggest takeaways, I think that Iran, good job doing forward pressure. I think some of these out ins, he could have tried to force engagement. I think if that's one of Iran's weapons, really, if that was really one of Iran's weapons, second round he could have forced a little bit more engage, even just footwork forward, and then just try and close the distance for those out ins. May have been something that's scouted already. It seemed like Korea had a pretty good grasp on on Iran's out in coming in from the right side. Korea, on the other hand, set up the good game plan in the third rounds. Wait for the cut, turning side underneath, and he hit that a couple times in the third rounds. So good defensive play by Korea. I think that maybe it was just him being used to being on the side, being on the side and maintain like being in the corner, and so that's why he didn't mind it. I think that might be specific to him in general. Might be specific to him. So he's able to move around the edge of the corner without too much problem. Um, but in the end, I think Korea's ability to time the Iranian cut kick and time the Iranian attacks. I think that's what won Korea the match this time. So that's something to take away, guys. And I'll be on tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. And oh, let's get this working. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys tomorrow.